This week, we start the 3-parsha saga of the story of Yosef and his brothers. What's an interesting idea that flows through the entire story is the concept of dreams. We have throughout the story 3 different sets of dreams. Each one of these sets of dreams has 2. And Yosef, if you look closely, goes through a process, gradually learning how to deal with the dreams that he receives. The first dreams are obviously Joseph's dreams right at the beginning. The dreams that come afterwards are the dreams that he hears while he's in the jail from the Sarah Mashkim and the Sarah Ophim at the end of this week's parsha. And in next week's parsha we hear the 2 dreams that Paro gets about the cows and about the stalks of wheat. Now what's interesting is how Yosef reacts to each one of these dreams. The first dream that Yosef gets, the first time when he sees his own dreams, all he does is tells the dreams over to his brothers. He tells them what happened, he sees the dream, and he tells it. The next time, when he hears the dreams from the Sarah Ophim and Sarah Mashkim, he doesn't just hear the dreams, he doesn't just tell over the dreams, but now he's interpreting the dreams. He says what the dreams mean and what's going to happen. In the third set of dreams, Yosef goes to the next level. He hears the dream, he interprets it, and then he does something very interesting. He doesn't just interpret it, but rather he tries to give advice of how to deal with it. He says there's going to be 7 years of famine, and during those 7 years of famine, you're going to have to find somebody to deal with that famine. And therefore, during the 7 years of plenty, I want you to hire somebody to carry all the wheat and to create this huge business of being able to supply wheat and bread to the entire Egyptian population. So we have the first dream is telling it over, the second dream is interpretation, the third dreams he's actually dealing with, he's being active about it. What's fascinating is what you find afterwards. When the brothers come to visit Yosef in next week's parsha, Yosef sees them, they bow down to him, and he accuses them of being spies. What's fascinating is the pasuk over there says that he remembered the dreams. Now, when they bow down to him, he remembers the dreams. Rashi says very simple. He remembers the fact that they were going to bow down to him in the dreams, and it happened. The Ramban says, no, that's not what happened. In the dream, there was 11 brothers that bowed down to Yosef. But in reality, it was only 10 brothers. So therefore, Yosef created this whole concocted plan in order to figure out how to get Binyamin, his 11th brother, to come and visit him in order so that all the brothers will bow down to him in order to create the dream. What we see over here is a 4th level of how you deal with dreams. He didn't just tell the dream and interpret it. And he didn't even just plan on how to deal with it. But now, Yosef is using dreams in order to create the dreams themselves. Yosef is looking at dreams not just as to what's going to happen to us in a reactionary way, but being proactive about those dreams. What's amazing to see also is how there's another development. And every time Yosef goes through this development of being more and more active within his dreams, the name of God comes more prevalent. When Yosef is just telling over the dreams, it's just telling over the dreams. No name of God. When he interprets them, he says the name of God once or twice. And then afterwards, when he starts being active in his dreams, he says the name of God over and over and over again. I think there's something happening here. Usually, we try to separate between being active and being able to see God as having providence on top of us. And we say the more active we are, the less God is involved because we're in conflict. Yosef says, no, that's not true. It's the opposite. The more active you are in life, the more you're able to see God within this world. The more active you are, the more that God is active within your life. And so therefore, being passive is somebody who says that God is something separate from me. He looks down on me, he creates the situation, I have to deal with it. However, Yosef realizes that dreams and God giving us dreams is not God telling us, I'm dealing with your life, so therefore you sit aside, but rather it's God saying, I want you to be a partner in my life. Dreams create activity, create partnership with Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.